PGA National St. Lucie, Port St. Lucie, huh? Is that how you say it?
Port St. Lucie.
Lucie?
I'll be quite frank. I still feel like until I see it, we could very well go lose. That will be my stance until I see otherwise.
But there's only really one scenario in which they can win, and it is very, very obtainable. It's just like last year.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Closing the Deal. I am one of your hosts, Sam Enright, and across from me is my co-host, Zach Dixon. Zach, what is going on today, my man?
Oh, just another beautiful Saturday here in Ohio / Florida. I see the sun peering in through your back windows back there.
Yeah, sun trying to get in, bud. Sun trying to get in. So, yes, I am in Florida. I am been down here for about a week. So, actually, week today. Got in last week. So, recording here from my brother's spare bedroom, and it's been a great week. So, weather's been absolutely gorgeous. Played a little bit of golf. Got some more golf on the docket this weekend, and just hard to be mad when you're looking at sunshine every day, blue skies.
We haven't seen the sun up here in a few days. It's been a little bit for us here, so we're lacking on our vitamin D intake a little bit here in the middle of November. But
you got to supplement for that. You got to take vitamin D pills or something.
Something, because it's just a year-over-year conversation that I have every single year. I was talking to you earlier about the difference in our skin color right now. I look just like a pale Casper the Ghost, and I can see the Florida sun has already hit your skin a little bit for you.
Hey, I appreciate that, bud. I appreciate that.
As you guys can tell from our intro here, we are back here for another episode of our Saturday Talks. Have a good one lined up for you guys today. Have a lot to discuss and unpack. As you guys could see on the intro, our guy Sam is playing a beast of a course in South Florida today. Why don't you get us started talking about the resort a little bit further, the golf course that you're playing, what you have on the docket? We want to hear about it today.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit before we actually got started, but we were actually unaware completely that the PGA has so I'm sure most of you guys are familiar with PGA National, which is where they host used to be the Honda Classic, and now it's the Cognizant down there. And God, what is that course called though?
PGA National Champion.
Oh yeah, PGA National Champion. So they got the famous Bear Trap, 15, 16, 17, and So we went down a few years ago, actually down there to for a company golf trip, and got to play a couple of the courses there. We did not get to play the Champion one, but there's actually another PGA resort up in Port St. Lucie, which is about from Palm Beach Gardens, which is where PGA National is, probably about an hour drive, 45 minutes, something like that. And there's another resort up there. They have 3 other courses. And so I was just made aware of this. And I am staying with my brother, and he lives relatively close to that, within 30 minutes. So excited, and checked it out. And they do, public tee times, 48 hours in advance. So I just figured, I gave him a call yesterday. I'm like, you know what? I got a free Saturday here after we wrap up recording. So I was like, maybe I'll go play some golf. So checked it out, and it's Tom Fazio, 2 Tom Fazio designs and a Pete Dye design. And the Pete Dye design's like a link style, and it's got like 150 bunkers on it. So I was immediately gravitated towards that as soon as I heard him say that. So I was like, you know what, let's do it. But their Wanamaker course actually, I guess, hosted the PGA Professional Championship this year and the Senior PGA Professional Championship, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the championship that gets you into the PGA. Like for PGA professionals, you know how they put like 20 PGA professionals in every year. So it sounds like they have a beautiful course down there. The way that he described the other 2 courses was like a North Carolina / Florida feel, Southern Pines, bunkering system, kind of like a North Carolina Florida split. And then the other one was obviously more, pay homage to like a traditional Scottish links style golf course, a lot of bunkers. And yeah, just kind of piqued my interest. And obviously anything Pete Dye signed me up. So I was just like, you know what, obviously I think we'll be back. At least I'll be back. Check out the other two courses there. They have 54 holes. So I don't know much about the resort. It is a stay and play, much like PGA National. Obviously you can get outside access as well. Just if they have some available tee time. So I guess you got to be a little bit flexible. For those, you're not probably getting the 8 a.m., dew sweepers, group of 4 out there, probably all the guys that are staying or members or that sort of thing. But it really is just like a complete, what's the word? Like a complete treatment. Like they're telling me, you pay the fee. Obviously you get there. Golf carts have GPS on them. You got an hour in their practice range. And I was looking at Google Maps last night, just looking at it. I mean, it looks like they got a short game area. They got a driving range. They got putting greens. So really, just the whole, like, can work on nobody works. You shouldn't be working on your game right before you tee off, but, get a little bit of a warm up in, obviously get kind of a feel for what the courses are like. So if none of you have played down in Florida, there is a completely different type of grass down here. Gosh, I wanted to say bent grass, but that's what we play at home. It is Bermuda. And so it is, gosh, I don't even know how to describe Bermuda. It's
almost like concrete, in my opinion. Like it really, like you're just playing on like a hard, like jumpy trampoline type surface. Like that's what it is to me, in the fairways at least.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know how to describe. Like it's it's almost like sharp in a way. Like I don't know. The grass like reminds me of something that is like, it's like if it were to grow up and be longer, it's like a much more like sharper, like thicker grass than what, like, I feel like, God, what's the word? Like in Ohio, like the grass is like thick in a way where it's like very dense, whereas this is maybe less dense, but it's also like, yeah, it's
the blades themselves are thick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not the best way of describing it, but anyway, so getting to that, sorry, I'm messing around with this, trying to get you back on the left-hand side here. So, but yeah, so it's just a much different, it's a much different surface. It's a lot harder to putt on, obviously if you're not used to it, I think it's a lot harder to putt on. Yes, I guess there's grain in every grass, but in down here, like Bermuda has, grain plays a larger role in how the putt rolls and how things, go. And when you're chipping into the grain, when you're chipping down grain, those sort of things, like you're going to get different feels off the club. And also link style, I'm going to guess because of how tight you can get Bermuda. That's the other thing. Like I feel like get it really tight. Like you can cut it really short and it doesn't necessarily, you know what I mean? Like yes, pretty much. And so like you're going to get like those tight lies, which I enjoy. Like I like that. It makes it a little bit more challenging, but I always like getting a little bit of a tighter lie, especially on your like short little chip shots and being able to just clip it pretty clean and kind of go from there. So, but yeah, I'm excited. So they got the full workup, the full treatment for me. So I'm going to pull up there and yeah, go try to play in 4 hours and beat the dark and hopefully have a great time doing it.
Absolutely. It sounds like a fantastic time. Golf in November. Can't beat it at all. Now, down there, though, that's like, it's probably like go time season now. Everybody's probably getting out on the golf course. Cats don't want to play in the summertime when it's 95 degrees at 11 a.m. or whatever it may be. But yeah.
Well, I think that's reflected in their rates, obviously,
Yeah,
this
true.
time of the year. Well, I think part of it, you get a lot of migration.
Yeah.
So I think things are going to get busier because you got a lot of people that come down from the northern states and obviously want to beat the cold and supply demand. When you got a lot of people, you're gonna be able to charge a lot more, because if not, your golf course will be overrun. And so you got to kind of, I feel like they kind of price certain people out to kind of keep things, not everybody wants to pay $200 a round to play golf. I mean, I certainly don't, you know what I mean? So, you gotta to kind of find those hidden gems, which is one of those things that, getting down here and just trying to figure it out. Like on Sunday, we're playing again, and we're playing a Nicholas Legacy design. So Jack and his son built it. It's called Hammock Creek. Heard a lot of good things. One of the guys that works in our office down here actually lives on the golf course. So Wes swears up and down by it, says it's a great play, and it's but more budget friendly than the other options around. So I don't know that we'll be playing anything that's, Ohio prices, $55 for 18, anything like that. You gotta play when it's like 95 degrees in the summer to get those kind of prices around here, I feel like. So,
which I'll do personally, I would do, but I can understand why it wouldn't be a first choice, maybe for residents who live through that each and every year. You know what I mean? But
I think they probably play the most. Obviously the residents, you know what I mean? Because everybody then migrates back up. And so you typically, like, I feel like if you're a Florida resident, that's kind of your go time more typically. Obviously this weather is perfect. It's beautiful. It's great golf weather, but you also are in a position where, like, golf is more expensive. There's a lot more people. And so I feel like you kind of take more advantage of it, right? In the in the summer months, but I don't think we've actually truly hit like their go time season yet. I feel like a lot of people still probably stay north for the holidays. So Thanksgiving, Christmas, and then like January to like April, from what my brother has told me, is kind of the really the premier season down here of when a lot of people come down typically.
And that kind of lines up with the PGA Tour schedule as well. When they do their Florida swing, they're usually in Florida last weekend of February through the last weekend of March, getting the best weather there for their tournaments. So I think we could do a full-on golf sicko podcast, honestly. But we got started talking about grain and different types of grass and thickness and lushness. I think we could do a legit golf sicko podcast. How do you feel about that?
I would love it. That's right up my alley of just things I like to talk about. So if you want to get me talking, talk to me about mortgages, I guess, and talk to me about golf, I guess. Those are kind of the two the 2 points that'll get me chatting up for sure. But yeah, I'm excited. Plain and simple.
I'm excited for you.
I'm excited to play some golf.
I need to see a review. I need to see some pictures. I need to see whole 9 yards for sure. Get me excited for what's to come here in about a month or so. I cannot wait personally to get down to your area and play some golf with you and hang out with you for a little bit and experience the South Florida life in the wintertime. So super excited for that. We just booked a trip to head down to Jupiter, Florida for a few days in December to get away from the cold of December in Ohio, get away from probably the snow at that point, the gray skies, and hopefully play some golf as well. So super excited for that. And I've tasked you with finding our golf courses on this trip. So I have no doubts that we're going to be playing some absolute gems based on everything that you said so far today and everything you've told me outside of the podcast too.
Well, I know that we've also, we came down 2022, 2021, one of the two. Yeah. We came down and, we played down in the Palm Beach Gardens, West Palm, Jupiter area. We actually made a trip up towards Stewart to play one of the courses up here. And I fell in love with that golf course. It's still been one of my favorites. I don't know why it left such a lasting impression, because we played some awesome courses while we were down too. We played Abacoa Golf Club. We played North Palm Beach Country Club, which is another public Jack Nicklaus design. And I don't know, something about the Florida club just really resonated with me when we set foot on it. I just felt like it just embodied what I think of Florida golf, when I think of it. And so it's always in pristine condition, public course. And, you just don't, I guess, I feel like the fall off in Ohio from private to public is pretty widespread. But like down here, like that could, if you told me, if I played that, you told me that was a private course, I would believe you. Like if I, you know what I mean? So it's one of those things. But again, getting into grass types and just obviously the weather they're able to have here year round definitely makes it, I guess a little bit easier. And when you have a crap ton of privates all around, you're going to drive, a lot of people that are not members to these courses and, funnel in money that allows them to then spend it on their golf course and take care of it in a way that, makes it obviously top tier. So yeah, I think we're going to play. Well, you picked the one course,
I did. Yeah.
the park, I never even heard of the park. I didn't even know what it was. I mean, I guess it's a Golf Digest top 100. And so, anytime we get a chance to do that, I'm, sign me up, obviously. And I mean, there's a lot of, this state's probably got quite a few of them, top 100s in it. So
I mean, I think that speaks volumes to honestly the area and just, probably, I don't know the exact number or percentages, but, I would say 75% of tour pros live in that area. 70% of tour pros live in that area. It just speaks volumes. They need places to play. They need places to practice. They need places to get better. So they have all of these, fantastic courses all within a 10-mile radius. You got Medalist and Seminole and, Trump International, the Bear Club, all of those just gems in like a 10-mile radius. It's just,
no, dude, if you want to ever just be like dumbfounded, just pull up the maps and scroll through Florida and just put golf courses nearby and then just watch the green pins pop up. You know what I mean? Like it's insane. So, and there's obviously a lot of good ones down here that are also, private and, don't necessarily have access to, but I've been doing some research, looking at some courses. I was asking some people that work at our company down here, some of their recommendations. There's a golf course that was built like 2 years ago called Astor Creek that I heard is pretty nice. It's got an up and coming neighborhood being built around it. So I'm like, oh, that seems like a pretty cool place to check out. And so, I mean, Hammock Creek was compared to Florida Club, like very similar kind of golf course, very similar in quality, those sort of things. Then obviously there's some other courses around here if you're looking for a more bang for your buck kind of idea, kind of thing where maybe you do want to pay that 50, 60, 70 bucks or whatever it is to kind of get in the door. There are some courses like that. And I mean, a lot of the Florida golf courses I played, just because the grass is so different, it really is hard to kind of be terrible, right? That's kind of my opinion.
100%. And it's just, from my perspective on this specific trip here in December, I don't really care what the golf course we play is. The fact that I'm just sitting on the golf course with my golf shoes on and my shorts and my polo, no long sleeves. The sun is hitting me in the face on the arms. That's a win in itself. It's like that LeBron meme. I can't believe this is my life. You know what I'm talking about? So that's just how I'm feeling in December. That's the move for me. So
no, for sure. That's just bonus golf.
So even though we have a trip in a month that literally got booked like 3 days ago, we went ahead and did something fun in addition to that and booked the trip for next August as well. We did just do that. So made that back to back in a week. That was pretty dope. I can't lie to you for sure. Yeah. So
no, I'm hyped. We're going to be going to French Lick in Indiana. And I'm excited. They got an 8,000 yard golf course there. 8,000 yards. So bring your drivers, bring your hybrids, because you're not going to be using anything else basically. Putter, some wedges.
We're playing it from 8,000 yards at least one time too. We play it 2 times on Saturday. So one time in the morning, one time in the afternoon. One of those 2 times, we got to play it from the tips 100% just to see what it's talking.
So I can get absolutely ate up, like beat down, broken.
110.
That's what I want to be. No, we're not. We're beating 100 for sure.
You think so?
Yes.
All right. Well, we'll keep that open. Keep that open for sure.
I mean, the amount of golf I'm going to play between now and then, I mean, I might be a plus handicap. Who knows?
That's true. Do you remember when we signed up for our tournament next year? I might have gotten the short end of the stick on this one, playing straight up in 2026 every single round.
It was all a plan, bro. It was all a plan. I just did it so that you would finally agree to play me straight up. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go south and I'm just going to freaking play golf for 4 straight months. And then he'll be so sick that he decided to play me straight up. But you're also investing in the swing spot membership, I heard, and going to be grinding there, So, don't discount yourself yet.
I thought about making the this Florida trip next month the start of our 2026.
Love it.
I haven't.
Love
I
it.
haven't. I haven't said
Love
that to you
it.
yet for a reason. So
Love it. Let's
we'll
do
probably
it.
have to play some competition on that trip, but you'll probably be giving me some strokes on that one. So
Oh my.
we'll see how that shakes out.
We'll see how it goes. Well, we do have to get some get backs. We're going to go back to North Palm Country Club. When we played it 3 years ago, it was okay. I don't want to like overstate it, but it had to at least be consistent 15, 20 mile an hour winds with 30 mile an hour gusts. I mean, I would say, and it's very close to the,
Intercoastal.
yeah, like the intercoastal. Actually, there's part of it that is truly on the intercoastal. And then, so you're right there basically by the ocean. You're going to get a lot of winds. We did play, it was like March though when we played. So it'll be a much different time period now. Obviously we're going in December, so it'll be about 3 months before we would have set foot there the last time. So I think we're going to get different conditions this time. But yeah, I think we both shot in the 90s, if I am not mistaken. And I watched a drive on 18 from Zach go balloon in the air, probably 150 to 200 feet in the air and go 120 yards. And it just faded to the right. And it was one of those ones where you're just like, holy crap, what is going on here? And it's just like, just goes to show you what some backspin revolutions will do when you got
Into the wind.
That thing will balloon. It was one of those just drives that I was just dumbfounded because I mean Zach hits the ball 280, 290, 300. So it's like to watch one of those just go like that and then just be like here. And I think it ended up in the pond too.
It did, yeah. It did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's like a pond in front of 18. Yeah,
like 311 yards out on the par four with my second shot. Ay.
Oh, dude, it was a rough day all around though. There was really no good golf to write home about. So
I think that just goes back to something we've talked about though previously with golf trips and like traveling, our games traveling. I think that me personally, when I travel, I put a little bit too much emphasis on like trying to play well, or I just kind of psych myself out with new golf courses. And so that's one thing here with this trip in December and all the trips that we have planned in 2026 for golf specifically. Want to try and get better with handling my mental on like a course that is not my home course or a course that I play often. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And try to, it's still golf at the end of the day. Ultimately, it's different. It's no different. You're just getting the ball into the hole at a different course. So you don't have to play it up in your head and make it this whole big thing. Ultimately it's just golf, just hitting the ball still. So that's kind of my focus for all the trips here in 2025, 2026. So.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like there's this mental thing where you want to like come home and be like, dang, dude, like I went down there and I crushed it. I shot my normal scores. Like I was in the 70s. Like, dude, my game can travel. You know what I mean? And then it's just like, but then you realize, like, I just realized, like, even just last week, like, I haven't played Florida golf since June. I was down here in June visiting my brother, and we played, and that was the last time I played. And the time before that was probably, oh gosh, I don't know, like a year prior to that, maybe a year and a half since I'd been down and actually played some golf down here. So, and then we go out on Sunday and I 3-putted 5 holes, and it's just like, you just realize like how different, like actually the golf is down here and those sort of things, right? Because it is different. You're going to experience a different, because of the different grasses, because of the different course setups, like water is the middle name of all of these golf courses down here. Like there's a lot of courses that we play up in Ohio that just really don't even have water hazards at all. Or if they do, it's very, very minimal. So it is, it's definitely an adjustment. And, but yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I think obviously it's going to be a lot of fun, like all the trips that we got going, and get a little personal comp out there. I don't like hearing that you might be reneging on the straight up, so
No,
we'll see.
No. I'm not for 2026. I'm just saying,
Oh,
I don't think we can get it started when you've been grinding on the Florida side for a
I don't know
month.
about that. I mean, I'm at work every day. I'm still grinding on other stuff. So, but yes, I mean, I'm going to spend my weekends playing some golf if I have the opportunity to do so. So, I mean, obviously this upcoming weekend, I don't know. I mean, we might play on Sunday or something, but just with Thanksgiving and Buckeye game, like if there's one Buckeye game I'm sitting down and watching every single year, like eyes glued to the TV, like it's going to be the Michigan game. So,
Is that where we want to go next? Yeah, let's talk about that one.
yeah, I mean, we can
Let's talk
definitely
about
go
that.
there next.
Yeah.
Like
How you
Rutgers,
feeling?
I don't give a crap. I just
Yeah, senior day. It's senior day, which is nice. But
I mean,
yeah, how are you feeling about next week?
a lot of things to take away. So obviously, it was all very interesting. We were watching the game last week when I got in, threw it on, and it was so funny because Carnell's sitting, and we didn't really realize it at first. Like, oh yeah, he's sitting the game. Okay, cool. So then I start like digging in, and they're like, oh yeah, Jeremiah Smith has an undisclosed injury, and I like literally like Googled like what was wrong with him, and there was nobody who could even tell. Like nobody even knew, and I just thought it was like we just started clowning. Like it was the funniest thing because then he goes out there and he looks perfectly normal, like for the first quarter, and I'm like, I think they're just like, are they just playing mind games with these cats at this point? Like literally the article said, we do not know what Jeremiah Smith's injury is. And I'm just like, in the NFL, you can't get away with that. Like you can't not disclose an injury. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's definitely different. But then obviously I saw videos of him like legitimately hobbling after or during halftime or whatever it was. And so obviously that makes me a little concerned. So, everybody's in the comments like, shut this man down. Like if he doesn't play this week, and if he doesn't even have to play Michigan week, we don't care. Like, and so it's just like, obviously just goes to the sentiment of like, okay, what are we as fans thinking here? Like we're thinking national title run. Like, so yeah. Yeah. So, and I guess that's where it's like Michigan, right? That's where this started.
Yeah.
I'll be quite frank. Like I still feel like until I see it, like we could very well go lose. Like that will be my stance until I see otherwise. I don't care what everybody says about. I heard it last year. Oh, Ryan Day's changed. He figured it out. Like they got a game 13-10, bub. 13-10. So I really don't want to hear that he changed or he's got it all figured out until I see the product on the field be different. And it's like this year feels like, so if I'm watching as a fan, this year I feels like maybe the first year that what they're saying could actually be true, because if I would say there's one weak part of our offense, it would be the run game. And in years past, what we've done, I feel like, is we try to dominate the line of scrimmage, and we've tried to be like, we're just as big of bullies as you guys are, and we're going to push you around, and we don't do it. And we try to run it down their throat, and it just doesn't work. And so like last year, we obviously had Travion, we had Quinshawn, and it was like all the puzzle pieces lined up for us to feel like on paper, stepping back, oh yeah, we can hang with these guys. We can win in the trenches. We can run it down their throat. We can do all of this. And this year, I feel like we've seen a different product on the field. We got a quarterback who's completing at an 80% clip. He throws the ball freaking amazingly. We have a low key complementary run game. I think I feel like it's opened up a little bit in the last couple of weeks, but I feel like our call to what makes our offense good is getting the ball in Julian Sands' hands and letting him make plays with his accuracy and how he throws the football and how we get guys open. I mean, when you have 2 first rounders on the outside in your offense and you got other guys coming up who likely are going to be first rounders at some point too, it's like that should be the focal point. And I feel like if that's the way that we go in, I mean, I will not discredit. They look terrible. Michigan looks bad. Like, yeah, like they almost lost to Northwestern last week. Like it's just, they look terrible, but the product that they bring on the field when it comes to Ohio State is way different than what they will bring to the field when it's a Northwestern, when it's a UCLA, when it's a Rutgers.
The last 4 years.
Yes.
The last 4 years.
Yes. And so in the product that we bring is nothing like what we would bring against any other team. We would say, this is our identity. This is what we're going to do. And psychologically, we would be like, but this is what we want to do. Because what we want to do is we want to shut them up. We want to make them feel like, oh, they can't say this. Who cares if they say that we're a finesse team? Who cares if they say that any of this? It does not matter. Winning takes care of everything, in my opinion. So losing and saying that you're not a finesse team, trying to make the case that you're not a finesse team while losing, like you don't have a case there. Well, we played smash mouth football. We hung with them. That's not a compliment, in my opinion. When you walk out with an L, that's not going to sit well with anybody who's involved. So long story short, I feel that we could very easily go in and lose this game. Do I think
I'm right
we're
there
going
with
to?
you.
No. But do I think that just as easily as we could win, could we lose? Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm low-key scarred because
Last year specifically.
last year, 2022, when we set foot on that freaking field ourselves and watched and just everything, because I think in all reality, like, other than maybe 2023, like, I feel like we were the better football. Last year, we were most certainly the better football team. 2022, CJ Stroud, we were most definitely the better football team. The Kyle McCord year, I'm not blaming Kyle McCord, not blaming Kyle McCord specifically, but I feel like that team lacked, and that team
and
was
that Michigan
not
team
as
won
good.
the national championship, obviously, too. That team was loaded. That team was loaded, for sure. I agree.
They were better than us.
Yeah. And I don't know. There's only really one scenario in which they can win, and it is very, very obtainable. It's just like last year. Again, if we fall into the trap of trying to prove people wrong instead of just trying to win the football game, like, again, if we throw the ball 50 times on next Saturday, we'll win. No doubt about it. If we just throw it 50 times and run it 15, we will 100% win. Do I think that that's going to be our game plan? I hope. Do I think so? No, probably not, though. Honestly, we're probably going to try and go in and do the same shit we've done over the last 4 years. I would be very surprised if we come out air raid type, just throwing it around all day long. I hope they do, but I would be very surprised. Now, I do think we still have a path to victory on that side of things if we try to do that. I genuinely do believe that, but our percentages are much lower in trying to do that. So I don't know. I think I've just decided that I'm going to throw a very large bet on Michigan money line and just win either way.
Just hedge the emotional.
Yeah,
just hedge the emotional.
21, 22, 23. Actually, not 21, but 22 and 23. Definitely bet on Ohio State. That was the biggest fuck up ever. You double whammy. You hate it. Actually, I did it last year too. I bet on the minus 20.5 big ass spread that we had. But gosh. I just think you win either way. You win either way.
I mean, I'm with you there. I mean, nothing wrong with an emotional hedge.
To me personally, I don't really care about the national championship. I want to beat them cats so bad. And
but I also think that having a national championship from last year now makes us feel that, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, okay, we did that, but we didn't beat them. But this year, like, we need to beat that. Like, we just won a natty last year. So would repeating be awesome? Yes. But like, more so, like, for me personally, like, how I would feel is I feel a repeat this year would feel more tainted if we don't beat Michigan than not beating them last year and going on to win the natty, just because of the path that obviously got us there, going through Tennessee, going through Oregon, destroying them in the way that we did, beating Texas, and then obviously ultimately beating Notre Dame. Like, that was it was an insane path. And so it kind of cleared what we fell on that Michigan game. But at this point, it's like, okay, Ryan, you've done the national championship. We've won the Big Ten. We've done all these things. We've checked all the boxes, except for, yes, I know you have 2019, but like, you would just had taken over for Urban Meyer. Like, it was just completely different. Michigan was absolutely buns. You know, I'm not saying that I don't get involved in all the cheating bullshit because I really don't give a fuck. Like, at the end of the day, were hit with a slap on the wrist. And so obviously they didn't seem fault. The NCAA didn't seem too much at fault or give them too much fault in what took place. Right. So, but they were asked. Like, Jim Harbaugh had not found his footing. Obviously they went 0-7 against Urban Meyer. So it was like, you're kind of just riding the coattails of that. And I feel like you look at 2020 and you look at the fact that game got canceled, right? Second year, they cancel it. We have a complete off year, no Michigan whatsoever. And then they basically have come out and dominated ever since that time period and done it in, other than last year, which was obviously a very, very close game, every fashion in which they've beaten us in 2021, 2022, and 2023 was really just not even
handling.
close.
Yeah,
Handling.
just a manhandling.
Like,
yeah.
I remember watching Donovan Edwards. Like, there's very little that I actually remember about that game. But I do remember watching this cat just break off 60, 70-yard touchdown runs. We had no depth in the layer or in the field, on the back end for the defense. And I'm just, as long as you beat that freaking first level, like, you're gone. And what would they do? They would freaking bully us up front, move these cats around, create holes that you could probably drive a Brinks truck through, and then he's gone. You know what I mean? And so it's crazy. So I do feel more bullish this year just because, like, again, we don't have, like, Bo Jackson's good. CJ Donaldson, I feel like, is a good goal line rusher. I mean, I don't know if there's much more positive I could say about him. And so it's like, I don't feel like the offensive line has been as great in the run blocking as they have been maybe in years past. And you don't have the Travion, you don't have the Quinshawn in the backfield that makes you feel like when you have those two guys, I can understand that feeling of like, okay, we can win this. Like, we can shove it down their throat and win this game this way. We don't have that now. And that's not been our identity the entirety of the year. So I feel like if there was ever a year for them to scrap that game plan and come back and say, let's get back to our roots, let's get back to who we are, it would be this year, because on paper, we don't have that to compete with them, in my opinion.
Couldn't agree more. So let me put you on the spot here real quick to finish up our Ohio State, Michigan, and give me a score prediction. Who's going to win? What's the score?
Oh, gosh. I would say Ohio State. I'm taking Ohio State always. Like, I'm never going to say that Michigan's going to win. I just don't have that in me. I'll say that they could win, but I'm not going to say that I have that in me. I would say probably, considering how bad Bryce Underwood has looked and how good our defense actually is, I would be surprised if the score was not like somewhere around like 31-10.
Yeah. I'm at
I don't think we're
24-10.
blowing the doors off. We're not going to go hang 40, anything like that. We just really haven't done that at all this year. Like, I feel like we've kind of established, like your Arsenal boys, kind of established, hey, once we're here, we park the bus. You know what I mean? There's not really a need to do all that. And so, then you have Julian Sand, who tweaked the ankle last week. You have Jeremiah, who's a little bit banged up. Carnell, I mean, it sounds like that was all precautionary sitting him, but I guess we really don't know. I mean, I hope that we don't see Jeremiah Smith suit up today. I don't know if there's been any updates about that, if he is or is not. Do you know?
There hasn't been. We are going back to your discussion about like having to disclose these things. Ryan Day discloses absolutely nothing. Like, I listened to an Ohio State podcast where they kind of break down his weekly press conferences, and he jumps around the question every single time an injury is asked. Like, he will not answer it directly ever, not once.
Well, so. I mean, I can understand that. I can appreciate that, actually. So,
yeah.
I mean, I just hope they sit him. Like, ultimately, like, if he's really, like, the way that he was walking and limping and gimping on his way, like the videos I saw, like, just sit him, dude. Like, Rutgers does not matter. We can beat them probably with two hands tied behind our back. So, not to be cocky or like overly like, oh yeah, like, I'm just saying, like, it's just reality of the situation at hand. The defense could probably we could win 10-0 and just call it a day and nobody would give a crap. So, you know what I mean? Defense, park the bus and just do what you got to do. And offense, do the bare minimum of what you need and we'll go from there. But I think it also just stems back to, we have a lot of great guys behind them, that can obviously step up if need be, and play that wide receiver role. I mean, obviously it'll give a chance for Brandon Ennis to kind of show his strengths. I feel like that's one guy that we really haven't seen a whole bunch of, just because of Emeka, JJ, Carnell. So it's like, I'm just like, dude, for JJ to move that way at like 230, 240 pounds is just insanity. So, but yeah, I mean, other than that, I think, I would say somewhere around 31-10. I like 28-10, like somewhere 24. I like that. I think there's probably going to be at least one field goal in there. So, I could get on board with somewhere around there. 24-31. If we put that up, we're going to be in a good spot. And then obviously, I don't think they're going to score more than probably 10 points. But that, it could be 13-10. We win, Who knows?
So, finishing up on our Saturday Talks episode, the last thing that I really, really want to touch on is the NFL as a whole. I'm going to start by talking about how absolutely shitty of a franchise my Cincinnati Bengals are. Truly an unserious ass franchise. I don't think that they can make a correct decision if they tried, honestly. It's truly abysmal being a fan of this team. I can't even put it into words. As you guys can tell, I've had a lot of time to sit on this. I've had a lot of conversations about this unserious ass franchise. I actually even saw them play in person a couple of weeks ago against the Chicago Bears, and it was a joke. We were down 2 scores with 4 minutes left in the game. We came back, took the lead by 1 point with 50 seconds to go, and gave up the lead and lost the game after that. 50 seconds went by. So ultimately what it gets me to is we have a franchise quarterback in Joe Burrow. We have 2 legit number 1 receivers, and our front office has no wherewithal to do truly anything around it. They have not hit on a defensive draft pick in the last 5 years. I'll give them one. DJ Turner is not bad, but past that, they have not hit on a single draft pick. And last year's first round pick, Shamar Stewart, has a half a sack, has played 2 games, has 1 tackle, and has not even played. Meanwhile, there's an all-pro linebacker that got drafted 14 picks after Shamar Stewart, while we're starting 2 rookie linebackers, mind you, that we took in the 2nd round and 4th round. We could have taken this guy who's going to be an all-pro for the Browns as a rookie. But no, we took a potential guy with a lot of potential moving forward, and we have no plan of developing him. And honestly, we have no plan of development across any of our players. The only draft picks that we hit on are dogs that are guys that come in and are immediately just good football players. And so ultimately what I'm trying to get at is we're going to make Joe Burrow leave. He's going to want to leave this organization at some point in the near future if we continue to do this BS around him. It's just, I can't understand it. I really can't. We stumble into 1-2 years worth of success, and we just are sitting on our high horse at that point, doing nothing to get better. And now 3 years down the road, we're significantly worse than we were even honestly before we went to the Super Bowl. And that's saying something because we had the 1st overall pick and we had the 5th overall pick in back-to-back years. And so it's just like, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. As you can tell, I'm a little frustrated by my Bengals because we're now going to bring him back too. We're going to bring Joe Burrow back with no reason to play. I don't want to even say it, but something might happen. And now 2026 is ruined already off the rip. His offseason is ruined there. So it's just like, can we make a right decision? Just one right decision, please. All I want in the first round of the NFL draft in April is to take Caleb Downs. I'm putting this on the record. If we do not take Caleb Downs in the first round, I'm rioting at Paycor Stadium. I'm forming a mob. We're rioting. We're calling for Duke Tobin's job. And at that point, Zach Taylor needs to be gone too. But if he's still there, Zach Taylor needs to be gone as well. I'm done.
Wow.
A lot to unpack there, I'm sure.
A lot of pain. A lot of pain in there is what I'm hearing. A lot of pain, a lot of frustration.
It's one thing, I think, to be a Browns fan and know and understand what your organization is, have no success at all. But we went to a Super Bowl. We went to an AFC Championship game right afterwards. We were right there with the Chiefs, and now we're back at the bottom of the AFC. Right there. With our franchise quarterback still locked in and, the weapons around him too. Unserious ass franchise. Unserious ass franchise.
Life comes at you fast.
Yeah, that's true.
1 second you're contending for a Super Bowl, and the next you're starting Joe Flacco,
It's tough. It really is.
Oh,
it's tough.
Man.
But I know that we're going to pass on Caleb Downs to take some project defensive end that has had 2 sacks his entire career and will be a bust. I guarantee it. So that's on record.
Well, I hope you're wrong. I hope it works out for you ultimately. I hope they get their act together. Seems like outside of the Ohio State Buckeyes, there's no good run for football organizations inside the state. So really tough considering that's at the college level and we are talking professional level. So you would think that there should be a higher standard held, but who knows what's going on? I mean, look at the Browns. They're not any better. I mean, you said, they just expect doom and
Be
gloom,
bad,
which
yeah.
I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know what's going on with the Shedeur Sanders of it all. Don't know what's going on with any of it, but it is all very interesting to watch from an outside perspective and have no dog in the fight. I don't personally care one bit, but
Yeah.
like it is interesting to watch. Seems like these coaches are on their way out. I would think just from the outside looking in, like Zach Taylor's got to go at some point. Kevin Stefanski's got to go at some point. Like there needs to be some changes.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, NFL as a whole has been very interesting. I mean, Chiefs aren't even good.
I was going to say there are some other surprises, but that was obviously a bad surprise for me.
The Bills aren't good.
Yeah, the Bills aren't very good. The
you
Patriots
don't lose to Miami
good.
and Texans inside of a 3-week window and think that you're good at football.
A Super Bowl contender, yeah.
Yeah, it's just ugly. It's just ugly. So, I just wonder where that Josh Allen performance was a week ago when I really needed it. Instead, I got him when he freaking dropped 6 touchdowns and 400 yards and whatever else. So, yeah, kind of hard to beat a 50-point week from a quarterback. That's a conversation we won't get into, but 4-7 on the fantasy team and
both of us.
Yeah, outcomes are not looking bright. Everything's looking bleak. All the future indications are that this ship's going down sinking.
Need to pull the plug.
Need to pull the plug. Luckily, somebody, I can't remember who, came through. Oh, Dustin came through, beat our boy Trevor McQuaid. So, we're still 2 games clear of dead last. So, shout out him for that. That's about the only competition I got right now is making sure I don't finish DFL.
Right there with you, but we'll save that one for the next Saturday talks. That should be about the time the season's over, so we should have a good maybe a little bit before that, probably.
Well, our season will be over for sure. Yeah, 100%.
We still have a chance, bro. We still got a very small playoff percent chance. We can't give up yet.
My team sucks. It's just really as simple as that.
In real time, real quick, hold on. In real time, what I'll do is see what our playoff percentages are. I have a 15% chance of making the playoffs, so I'll take that. It's better than 0, right? My boy Trevor McQuaid still has a 1% chance of making the playoffs too, while you are sitting at a 30% chance to make the playoffs. So we'll take those odds, I guess. Better than 0.
Wow.
Better than 0.
Yeah, I mean, it's there. I made some bad projections, some bad calls. I'll put thinking that Luka was going to win or Puka was going to win the Triple Crown this year. I'll put that at the top of the bad takes for the year. Because God, there's been so many that have gone around. So, drafting. Oh man, I don't even want to look at the draft, but like drafting Zach Charbonnet, thinking that he was going to take Kenneth Walker's job. I mean, just ill-advised. Who is letting me be the GM of a fantasy football team? Like that's where I'm at right now.
We'll revisit that question next summer. We'll revisit that one next summer for sure.
Yeah. Well, guys, I mean, that's 55 minutes of golf, football, and football. So that's our lives. All right, y'all. Well, guys, always appreciate you tuning in. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the Saturday Talks episodes. It's always fun for us to kind of get together and just kind of shoot the shit a little bit and, talk about some things going on in our lives. So, yeah, and on the next episode, I'm sure, by the time we record the next one, we might have already had our Florida swing trip and might be reviewing some golf courses and things that we got to talk about. So maybe the next one we might just dedicate to a pure golf sicko, podcast and just kind of talk about our experience and all the cool golf courses that we got to play and, maybe put some recommendations out there for you guys if you guys ever make the trip down to South Florida and want to play some golf. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope you guys have a great Saturday. Go Buckeyes. Have a great Thanksgiving. And yeah, we will catch up with you guys later. See you guys.
Absolutely, guys. Cheers.